We're here today to talk about some upgrades to the Pro-Ject Debut Carbon DC. The Debut Carbon is probably the most popular turntable of all time. It sells for around $400 and offers just amazing performance for the price. What you may not know is Pro-Ject makes turntables up to about $14,000. And when they make those, they learn things that they put into less expensive tables. And what they've done is come up with some of these as add-ons for the Pro-Ject Debut Carbon. So we're going to talk about those today, kind of the order we think you should do them in if you're going to make the upgrade, and show you how easy or difficult they are to do. Most of these are actually pretty easy. So the grounded E isolation base is what we recommend as the first step in most systems. The only time we wouldn't recommend this is if you primarily listen through headphones or you have really tiny speakers that don't put out a lot of bass. Because what this is going to do is isolate the turntable better from the external vibrations coming from your speakers, which allows it to have better dynamics, a better sense of rhythm and pacing and timing, and just a general overall clarity to the music. This bass is really made very cool. It's got isolation feet that you can adjust to get it perfectly level. You just set it where you're going to put your turntable and basically just pick up your Debut Carbon and put it on the bass. We suggest that you level the bass before you put the turntable on it. That'll make it a lot easier to get level, and you should be all set. Once you've got your turntable isolated well on the isolation base, the next upgrade we suggest is the Pro-Ject Acrylic Platter upgrade. This actually is a standard platter on the turntable up from the Pro-Ject Debut Carbon, the Pro-Ject Esprit, and it's made out of a very inert acrylic material, which is very dead. It has a little indentation in the center, so your record label sits in there, so it sits very flat. It's designed to be used without a mat, which also has a plus in that your mat typically picks up a lot of dust and debris. This is just easy to clean off. But more importantly, this has a flywheel kind of effect around the edge. The outer edge is thicker, so once this starts spinning, it's going to spin at a much more constant speed, which gives you better timing and sense of dynamics, just a more you are there sound to the music. This upgrade is really easy, just like the bass. You simply take off the existing platter, put this guy on, and you're done. So now we've got the upgraded platter. We think the next step that will make a big improvement is improving the power supply. The flywheel weighted platter is going to make it spin at a more constant speed, but if we can supply a better power to the motor itself, we'll reduce motor noise and get even more consistent speed. That gives you, again, that sense of dynamics and timing that makes it feel like you're there with the music. This is the power supply that comes with the turntable, which just plugs into the back. It's a little wall wart power supply. But the Pro-Ject's Power Box S2 is what we recommend. You can see if you compare it to just the wall wart that comes with the Pro-Ject turntable, it's going to be a big upgrade. Much bigger wall wart here. This basically plugs in to the back of the Power Box S2. And then the S2 actually can power a couple of Pro-Ject pieces. For the turntable, we want to use the 15-volt side. And you're going to have a couple of cables that come with the turntable, with the power supply box. And this is the 15-volt one, which is one we want to use for the Debut Carbon. We simply plug it into the 15-volt jack here. And then on the bottom of the turntable, plug it right into where it says 15 volts. And we're all set. This lets you put it right beside the table, so you can turn it off easily from the front, and we're done with that. So we've got our improved isolation base, our much better platter, and upgraded power supply. The next step we think in the upgrade path is to improve the cables. You know, a phono cartridge has such a low level output compared to a CD player. Your cables really need to be good. And so they also need to be very well shielded. So this is a cable Pro-Ject is made specifically for their turntables. It has super low capacitance and it's very well shielded. As you can see here, it's very nicely made. It's got a little separate ground wire, and these are, again, very easy to install, just like your original cables. So to install these, you just insert the little U-shaped lug under the ground terminal here. Tighten that down, and then they're color-coded. Red goes to red, white goes to white. These fit on nice and tight for a good solid connection. And then do the same thing at the other end. The final step in the upgrade path is an improved record clamp. This is really easy to use. Just put your record on the platter. This has a knurled knob, and you set it down here and just tighten up the knob till it's snug. That will press the record tightly onto the acrylic platter. It also takes out any warps that are there, and this works really well with that little indentation in the center platter. So that's it. Lots of upgrades for the Pro-Ject turntable. There's a couple of more that you could consider. Your phono preamp is super important in the sound of your system. Again, that's where that really low level signal gets to first. And we've got lots of phono preamp options on our website to consider. And then make sure your records are clean. You know, get a good record cleaner or a record cleaning system. Again, we have lots to recommend on our website. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. On our channel, we review all kinds of great components from all over the world. And you can reach us through chat or phone, or come into one of our stores in the Raleigh or Charlotte market and learn all about these upgrades for the Pro-Ject Debut Carbon and other great audio toys.